It's the Monticello estate of Thomas Jefferson in the state of Virginia.
No, straight down here. This is where we came up.
That's where we catch the shuttle to the plantation.
We catch the shuttle and
When he was very little, he used to play on this mountain with his childhood friend Dabney Carr. They actually made one another a promise that the first one of them to die, the other would have him buried on the mountain. So he had a very strong sentimental attachment to this area ever since he was very young. When he was 14 years old, he inherited this land, about 3,000 acres of land from his father, and that was when he decided certainly to build his house here. He went to college at the College of William and Mary. While he was there, he studied law, but in his free time, he studied architecture. And from Andrea Palladio's 4 books of architecture, he drew the plans for Monticello. It's a neoclassical style, harkening back to ancient Greece or ancient Rome. Jefferson had no practical experience with architecture. He was mostly building this just from what he had taught himself from books. And so once he started building the house up, he saw there were changes he wanted to make. He was constantly changing his plans. He had when he went to Europe for a while, he saw more buildings that he really liked, and he changed his original design really a lot. He actually tore down parts of the house that were already completed to get them built up in the way that he wanted it to. So there's almost no tiny detail of Monticello that Jefferson didn't go over with a fine-tooth comb to get looking exactly the way that he wanted it. It's something of an autobiographical house as well, because Jefferson put his value of reason and rationality and functionality into every aspect of the design. On the roof of the porch, you'll see a compass. That compass is attached to a weather vane on the roof of the house, so Jefferson could just walk out onto the porch in the morning, look up, and see what direction the wind was blowing from, which was pretty handy. A large plantation system, you're going to want to know what the weather's like. And also above the door, you'll see the exterior face of the great clock. This was a clock designed by Jefferson. You can see there's only one hand on it, kind of unusual, but it was part of Jefferson's original design. You saw the 4 functions that he wanted the clock to do didn't actually need for there to be another hand on the outside, so he just didn't bother with it. He figured you could get the gist of it from the hour hand there. This is also nice because when it rains, so you had Jefferson set up sort of a gutter system below this area here, so the water would be captured. I had a little bit of trouble getting water because probably building the house on top of the mountain. But with that large cistern down there to capture the water when it rains. Lots of people ask where Jefferson lived during the years that his house was still in construction. You can actually see it. There's that little brick house down at the end, they call it the South Pavilion. That is where Jefferson and his wife lived when the house was not yet livable, in a livable stage of construction. So, but that's closer to the average size of a house in Virginia at this time. That's what most people would be living in. You can actually fit that in the entrance hall of Monticello. So it's a pretty unusual house, pretty different. Now, there's 2 other tours you can go on today. There's the Plantation Community Tour, which starts at the top of the hour and turns the museum shop up here on the mountain, not the one down at the visitor center.
Picture of me standing there. Jefferson Graveyard and Burial Site. Beautiful neoclassic design. After leaving the Thomas Jefferson place, I visited a water mill in Virginia with pumpkins on hay bales.
Incredible.
Oh, and one more thing before I go.
Hit the notification bell. Subscribe to my channel.
That's right. Subscribe.